Friends, how are you doing? How are you doing? It's Thursday in the market, and well, we're back in the red. Let's talk about what's going on today. I'm still excited. I'm staying excited. What if I just came on here, I was like, oh my god, what is going on? What are we doing? Just immediately start crying. We can't do that, can we? We can't do that. Let's talk about today. So obviously yesterday, Jerome Powell came out and he talked about the economy, inflation, tariffs, all that kind of stuff. And the market reacted okay to that yesterday. And then today, they released their statement, and they kind of like, Jerome yesterday verbally was like pretty calm and collective about things and wasn't that intense. He did push the tariff narration a little bit in the negative range, just in an unknown, which is understandable because we're all there with it. But today they released pretty much the paperwork on it, and it was a little more aggressive. So the market went, we don't like that wording, and we saw a sell-off in the market today, 100%. So today, I mean, it wasn't like, a terrible day, but we're still going up. Essentially, we're slowly trickling back up here. Now, is that going to last? I don't know. We got April 2nd here, could be a bloodbath in the market because we have the tariffs. It could be a retaliation of tariffs. We're going to see what happens here. But essentially, the next 2 weeks, we may just have calm waters, we're hoping. I hope it's just a boring 2 weeks where we steadily just get some inflow of just, stocks are doing okay, buying, selling, trading, doing that kind of stuff, as long as we don't hear anything terrible. So you're wondering, why am I talking about Sofi at $30? We're going to talk about that. First, Nvidia today. Nvidia's had an amazing week with the big thing they're doing, showing their robots, talking about their AI chip, their new AI chip. I don't know if you saw that Star Wars robot they came out with, but that thing is sick, scary. We're in the future here. Tesla at this $30 range. I think Tesla's probably going to go down more. I think Tesla, more than likely, if the market continues in this unknown spiral, Tesla more than likely will sell off more. But this is just the general, this is the thing. People that are, and it turns into politics real fast, because people that are new to the market, let's say just because of politics, just because they, I don't know if you're aware of this, but there's like this hatred going on with Tesla right now. Obviously, there's a lot going on. So when people look at Tesla stock right now, they go like, this is what they get. It's a terrible company. Not exactly. This is a situation of, this is just the lifespan of Tesla. We've seen this so much over the last 6 years with Tesla, where Tesla is just violently down, up, down, and it's just the way it is with Tesla, okay? Now, obviously, do we believe in Tesla? Absolutely. I mean, they are gonna continue to control the car market with EVs, more than likely. Obviously, things are down, but they're probably going to pick back. Things will calm down here, more than likely. They've got the robotics coming. They've got the taxi. They've got so much coming that's going to make Tesla so much more money. It's going to be sickening how much money this company is going to make over the next decade. So, yeah, short term, I could see more damage here, but long term, Tesla's not going anywhere. Rocket Lab is holding this, almost, $19 position. So here's where I'm at with Rocket Lab. I am building up a little bit of a piggy bank right now, to where, obviously, I'm not gonna lie, I'm waiting around April. as selfish as this may sound, I'm waiting to around April to see what's going to happen with this next phase of tariffs. And if we see the market collapse again on itself, and we can see Rocket Lab maybe sell down to like a $13, $14, $15 position, I'm hoping lower, I will probably start to make a position in Rocket Lab 100%, because they're set to make a lot more money this year, 100%. With that too, Big Bear holding this $3 zone today, and I've said it once, I'll say it again. I am shocked that Big Bear is still doing so well with this negative news that come out. And I think too, the thing with Big Bear, that the general, it's funny because like 2 days ago when this news came out with Big Bear, sorry, RDD2 just went off. When this news came out 2 days ago with Big Bear, the general thing that you were seeing in chat rooms and stuff was like, oh my God, they've lied to us. Big Bear's going to, $1, all that kind of stuff. And then over the last 24 hours, it's, people already forgetting and they're buying back in and, things are changing here. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens here with Big Bear. Big Bear, listen, I am not sitting here and telling you Big Bear's got it together. They got some issues they need to address. They've got debt. They need more deals. For God's sakes, Kevin, the new CEO, freaking do a video interview. Talk to investors. Talk. If anybody knows Kevin, tell him to talk on video. Talk. Okay? We don't care if you stumble, mumble, whatever. Look at me, for God's sakes. Investors want to hear from Big Bear. They want to hear directly from Big Bear. So I think that would help to the situation, but unknown right now, unknown. Friends, let's talk about SoFi. So SoFi is a situation where I'm like I've said, I'm drinking the juice. There's not too many negative things I'm going to say about SoFi because I still believe it's one of the ultimate investments right now in the market where you're guaranteed steadily over the next 5-10 years to really, and that may sound like a long time to some of you, and I get that, but when we're talking about long-term investing of what an investment could shift into to change your life rapidly, SoFi is one of those stocks, undoubtedly. So right now, I put this $30 price tag on SoFi because I do believe that's possible, 100%. I believe that we could see SoFi within the next 6 to 8 months at a $30 position. Absolutely. But there is one big thing holding SoFi back right now, and that is the unknown certainty of the stock market. And SoFi being the bread and butter of the bones of the stock, the company, it's a bank. It's a bank. So with that, what do they not like in the market? They don't like uncertainty. They don't like inflation. They don't like the R word, recession. Now, obviously, and they certainly don't like tariffs. We're finding out very aggressively here. But with that, the evidence that we know before us right now is that SoFi is still aggressively getting deals, aggressively coming out with quarterlies here. More than likely, this will be the year where we see SoFi break into $1 billion quarterly, which will be quite amazing, quite amazing. So I personally believe that SoFi within the next handful of years will become a predator among other bank stocks. I do believe that. Bank companies, to where you will start to see articles come out where you see SoFi bought up, some mom and pop bank over, the Mideast, the Northeast, where, they just like a chain of banks and they just bottom customers, all that kind of stuff. But kind of seeing things like that to where they maybe start buying up bigger, more aggressive banks, but they start acquiring more things like that. I think that's definitely possible, 100%. Now, SoFi may not even go that route. They may not generally go that route. I don't know. They may just continue on their software as who and what they are as a company, because this is where the argument does go to with SoFi, because every time I talk about SoFi, and you'll see this too, people want to say SoFi is more of it's an AI company too because of their software, how advanced they are as a banking system. I totally agree with that statement. I mean, that's true. If you bank with SoFi, you will immediately see why people say that, because it's true. It's an advanced banking system, 100%. And I could see SoFi easily getting into the crypto world here with transactions and all that before a lot of other banks, because SoFi, the blood of SoFi is surrounded with the younger generation, which is fantastic, because what does that mean? It means that, the younger generation, they're going to start spending a lot more money in the future. So that's great for the longevity of what SoFi is going to bring to us as investors in the future. So we want that. Now, obviously, SoFi has been killing it with quarterlies, but the last two were absolutely phenomenal. Q3 of 2024, really good. Q4, the best. So if we continue to see this rise here in these quarterlies, undoubtedly we're gonna get into like Q3. Q2, I doubt. Q3, Q4 more likely of, SoFi going into $1 billion quarterly. Now, obviously, I hope I'm wrong about that. I hope SoFi 100% comes out with their next quarterly where it's like maybe they're like already in an 850 million, quarterly zone here. So that would tell us like, okay, Q2, Q3, they're probably going to hit $1 billion. Now with that too, SoFi is doing things like this where they just came out with this $5 billion agreement with Blue Oral. So they have that deal, and not to mention, don't forget about the one they just got at the end of 2024 too. So what you're seeing right now, it's compounding. What a great word. What a great word when we talk about money, because that's what we want to see in quarterlies. We want to see deals compound, and that's how these companies come out with such aggressive quarterlies. So I do think we're going to be in a situation where at the end of April, beginning of May, it hasn't been, 100 set right now at this moment, but we're going to see where SoFi comes out with an even bigger quarterly here. And listen, if you're new to SoFi, I do want to let you in on a secret right now. I've been here for 2-3 years with SoFi, and trust me, it has been a long road with SoFi. But one thing that's kept us up here with SoFi is that they've been continuing with aggressive quarterlies, and that's one thing that we've really seen here. I mean, you want to talk about a company that was ripped apart during the Cove, and now has completely redirected their company, redirected their finances, and really just taken, just completely a beautiful just turnaround in this company. It's been the same MO with SoFi for the last 3 years. 2-3 weeks out before quarterlies, SoFi starts moving up aggressively. 5 days before quarterlies, we're like, more than likely, depending on where the market's at, because we have unstable market position right now, SoFi could easily be back in a $15 to $17 range here before these Q1s come out here for 2025. Now, obviously, if we hit these quarterlies, they're really good, like they beat expectations. SoFi comes out with this whole thing, we could easily be in a $20 zone. Now the sell-off in that will, what is that going to do? It's going to make a new bottom for SoFi. So we could see by Q2 of 2025, and now we're getting deeper into the year, obviously, SoFi could be in a situation where we're talking about the new bottom with SoFi is somewhere around of Q2, okay, 2025, earnings doing good here. Maybe we're at a $20 bottom, $25 bottom. And that's how we're getting into a $30 position here very soon with SoFi. It'll be here before you know it. Listen, we're all going to be going to the beach here soon. We're all going to be loading the family up. We're all going to be, going to Myrtle, wherever you're going, Las Vegas, who knows. But we're all going to be having our summer vacations here. And we're going to be in some heavy earning seasons here with companies. And SoFi is going to be one of them. So I think that, and this is why when I see people on YouTube saying that, SoFi is going to 30, 50, there's people saying SoFi is going to 100, and I don't doubt it in the future, but I see where they're getting these numbers. I see where they're getting that. My only concern with SoFi, getting to those numbers right now is the trust with investors with the market, because I got to be honest, I am only putting money into I put money into ETFs every week. I just, boom, there. Retirement, that's there. Dividend ETFs. Boring, not exciting, nothing. That's just what it is. Second to that, like I said, I'm looking at Rocket Lab. There's a few things that I'm looking at, but I'm only putting money into companies right now that are aggressive. Besides Big Bear, whatever, I already made a low position. I'm only putting money into stocks right now, companies that are doing phenomenal on quarterlies, that have deals coming, that are still achieving deals. And SoFi is right in that category. So I'm still putting money into SoFi in another position, where I started another position with SoFi. Until SoFi hits this $15 position again, I'll stop that investment. I'll probably be done unless I start another one years later. I don't know. But I don't look at SoFi and I go like, oh, it's going to $8-7. I look at SoFi and I go, okay, more than likely we get deeper into April here, we're going to start to see SoFi steadily climb back up into, $14, $15, $16, more than likely. Now, obviously, 2 weeks from now, April, we could see some bloodshed in the market, but that's why I'm making a little bit of a piggy bank right now myself. I'm making a piggy bank right now, so if we do see another just brutal beat down the market, more than likely that's when I'm going to step in aggressively with some things that I've been wanting to make positions in. So just a FYI on that. So friends, listen, I know I didn't really bring a double-edged sword here with SoFi. I can't. Other than, is SoFi, exciting, sexy to most investors? No. SoFi, to me it's exciting. I think to a lot of people it's exciting, but SoFi doesn't have that. It doesn't have that thrill and awe of a lot of these AI stocks where people are so excited about it and all this kind of stuff and the unknowns and and that's okay. That's okay. I'm okay with SoFi doing what SoFi is doing. As long as SoFi keeps making money, keeps doing these big quarterlies, these big deals, SoFi is fine with me, okay? Because it's doing what it's an investment. It's been a good investment to me. It's done well, and I expect 5 years from now somewhere we'll be talking about dividends. We could be talking about a stock split, something like that, and that right there will be what I've been waiting for. That will be, where I send SoFi off to college and I'd be like, I raised it, it went well, here we are, and and that'll be that, then we're good. We did it. We won. And going over SoundHound a little bit here, I've been getting a lot of comments about SoundHound. People, I haven't talked about SoundHound in maybe a week or so here, but SoundHound is in this position right now where it's still holding its ground. But, just to get everyone up to date, if you don't know, here's what to know. 2024 was a really good year for SoundHound. It started off rough with the first quarterly. Then Nvidia jumped in very early into the year, and this is just kind of the genesis of what happened in 2024 with SoundHound here. Nvidia jumped in, made a huge investment. The stock shot up to like 8, 9, maybe like 9 some change dollars. Then sold off through the summer. Then out of nowhere, SoundHound just started to get like deal. I got another deal. A deal. Okay, and then they just started getting all these deals. We were like, people were like, what? And then I came across all this with SoundHound around maybe September, August of last year. I was like, right when they came out with Q2, I was like, what the heck? Because by Q2, they were showing that they were, quarterlies were steadily going up a little bit. Was nothing like, even like when I was talking about SoundHound, like that first month, it was kind of like a big bear conversation where I was like, hey, this is a risky. But as they continued off that Q2, they just started compounding deals. And I was like, holy freaking smokes. Like Q3 is going to be really big. Q3 comes out really big. Nvidia did another huge investment in them, and then it was like, holy smokes. And then they shot up to almost that $30 range, huge sell-off. And then we had Q4 here come out to wrap up 2024, and it was the biggest quarterly we had ever seen with the stock. So, SoundHound right now, I'm very curious to see what SoundHound is going to continue to do into this year. Now, can SoundHound this year get into a 50, 55, maybe $60 million? Now, the question is, can SoundHound get into, maybe a 50, 55, $60 million quarterly, every quarterly here this year? Maybe, possibly. They are still acquiring deals. Nothing's come out this month, but they, recently they had another deal here in Europe. So there is a lot to say that, SoundHound could easily just continue to rise up in quarterlies. If not, just continue on this path of, this, aggressive growth that it's seeing right now, which would be great. And it would keep the stock at the level it's going. If not, get it back into a double-digit position. So right now you're watching the fundamentals of a company change to where they're paying off debt. They're getting cash on hand. They're finding new, new business, and it's growing off of that. And this is why I've been so attracted to Big Bear, because when you see companies like this start to get deals, deals start coming in just waves, because that's how companies work. They go who did you hire for that? Oh, we'll call them. We saw that with Palantir 2-3 years ago, where Palantir just started to get these government contracts, and then they just started compounding all these other contracts. So not saying SoundHound is like Palantir, so save the comment. But what I'm saying is just this is how business, we see it flow in and out of these companies, to where a lot of them are just creatures of habit, how this all works. So I'm very excited about SoundHound, 100%. I think it's in a very young, youthful stage right now of growth. And if it can continue this growth pattern into 2025 here, I'm not looking for anything insane here with SoundHound this year. I'm not looking for them to come out $100 million quarterly next. We're not seeing that at this point. If we were, if there was any evidence of that, I would be taking out loans and putting it in this company right now. But we're not seeing that. So I think right now they're just going to steadily be in a growth pattern right now of just executing quarterlies and really starting to get their name out there, to where hey, things have changed over here. We've found business. We're pushing into it. We're definitely going into a whole new season of AI, what it looks like in the market, and what can we see here with the next 5 years with AI, with Trump administration in the stock market. So friends, I'm going to shut up. You're probably so sick of hearing me talk right now. I want to wish everyone the best of luck what's coming in the market. Friends, thank you so much for listening to me talk. I really do mean that. I can't thank you enough. And like I said, best of luck. I'm excited. We have to stay excited. That's all we got, man. Excitement. Take care of yourself, friends. Bye-bye.